right, y'all. I'm back with another one of the 101 with the Super series. We're here in the August edition. And this one, I'm just going to get to it because last month we had a lot to talk about here. And I definitely want to do some checkup and see how they're doing and, everything. And a lot of times what you don't see is before these hit record, a conversation almost starts. And I'm like, no. Let's save that. So I'm talking once again with the one and only fabulous JoLene. How are you?
Hey, I'm surviving.
That's good. I know, like I said, and everything that has happened. And I was concerned. Once I saw you start liking a few tweets and things like that, I was like, okay, they're getting back on social media and trying to do things normally, slowly but surely.
Yeah, I mean, I never left social media. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but all during the hospital time, I was like, hey, friends on social media, send me good things.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, because that's especially during the pandemic, I've had more contact with social media friends than local friends.
Yeah.
But I've had 2 counseling sessions since the start of the month. I got to visit a friend up in Maine at the end of last month, start of this month. Got to see live wrestling again. That was fun. Limitless Wrestling. Check them out. Love them.
That's good. You're doing a few good things. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because again, I told you when my situation happened with my mother, I was like, yo, I was booked for 3-4 wrestling shows that weekend, and they were like, yo, you don't have to wrestle. I was like, oh no, I need to do all of these shows.
Yeah, hey, I need to keep busy.
Yeah, I was like, I got to do everything I can at the time, and so, and that's crazy because I wasn't even close to being where I am as far as sometimes being busy today.
Yeah,
it's just wild. I'm happy I'm actually awake because. So I take anxiety pills to try to sleep because my brain doesn't want to shut off at night. My brain is my body has to be just completely drained for me to be able to just sleep on any level. If not, I got to take anxiety pills. Well, my former therapist had prescribed me Abilify and was like, no, this will help to knock you out and blah, 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 blah. Abilify had me sitting up there like this at 4:00 in the morning, just looking at the wall like this is some bullshit.
Ooh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was like I couldn't stay consistently sleep. And it was frustrating. So luckily I got a chance to take because I went to the gym this morning. I was like, I'm up. Let me just go. And the crazy part, I only did 35 minutes. I was like, you know what? I'm done. But I know why. It wasn't even just to being exhausted. It's the whole Spider-Man Far No Way Home thing. I was like, yeah, I don't want to be home just in case this happens.
Yeah. I know that usually helps knock me out, at least at night. I've done some exercise, then I take a shower, and then I'm like, I'm going to end up falling asleep earlier than I want to. So, especially because I also generally shower with my contact lenses in, which also makes the eyes heavier. So you always got to make sure to take them out before I fall asleep in them. Because then it's a pain in the ass to take them out once you've fallen asleep in them.
Man, because it feels like plastic is
glued to your eye.
It's glued to your eyes, like it's fused together.
Yeah, you need to wait 30 minutes or so, basically, after you've gotten your eyes open, lubricated on their own.
So many times I've had that so much.
Content warning for anyone that's afraid of eye stuff: don't watch what we just talked about.
Because it's just one of those. It happens though, because it's same thing, women, when you all say that you sleep in makeup and you're not supposed to. It's like with contacts. You be so tired, you just don't want to.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible with that. A lot of times. Also, I didn't used to have makeup remover wipes, so it's just whatever.
See, I know I've woken up with my contacts, and I'll wake up and someone will tell me you didn't take these out. So now I'm waking up and one eye can focus and the other one can't, which means I've been tossing and turning so much, I've pushed the contact out. So now I'm like this, half awake, half asleep, trying to find a contact in the bed.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been through that so much. I've had the makeup issue where I've been on long days of sets and it'd be a 12, 14-hour day. And I'm just I'm done. And I lay down, I'm like, something I was supposed to did. And then I look at my pillow and I was like, oh, that's what I was supposed to have done.
Yeah.
So did you watch everything this weekend?
Whew. Yeah. So Friday night, all right. So Friday night on IWTV, the Limitless show I went to aired, but my friend hadn't seen it, and we
Okay.
like to watch along together but separate because
Yeah.
through Discord. And also the thing I love about Limitless is they tape all their shows, then they air them later because they also tape a bunch of promos that they edit in. So
Okay.
that's always nice to see. But that ended right as Rampage started. For all Friday, me and my friend were like, man, we just don't care anymore. And then when he comes out, we're like, all right, we care again.
So I was the same way because I was like, because for me, the thing was, I was like, is everybody just getting trolled just so he can pack the United Center out?
I can't, it would have been a WWE move if they had trolled them. If he had not shown up, it'd be the most Vince McMahon thing ever.
As much as they say, yeah, that'd have been the big, because it was okay.
Especially because all the tweets they was posting was don't worry, you won't be disappointed. Because everybody was aware for so long, and they just kept hyping it on so many levels.
But I think that was the thing, though. That was the thing. The level of hyping of
it was
somebody,
a fear, yeah.
It was like
somebody else might come out to his music or.
Right, that was my thought because again, his music is basically cult of personality. It's a regular song, and Tony Khan has been out here licensing regular songs for wrestlers now, and so
that is my favorite thing he does. So because I love indie wrestling, just people coming out to a song they clearly don't have the rights to, but they love it and it fits them on some level because it's fun to sing along to entrance themes.
Well, here's the only gripe I have with that statement because it's one song that as God is my witness, I've heard in every single promotion I've ever been in and watched in any indie show I've ever seen. If you have an Irish wrestler, you are guaranteed to hear "Shipping Out to Boston" by Dropkick Murphys somehow, some way. You are guaranteed to hear it. You're like,
I'm not. Yeah. Look, guaranteed to hear that since it came out at every college party ever. So.
People ain't even from Boston. I'm shipping out to Boston.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point in his life, Eddie Edwards definitely came out to that because he's definitely a Boston boy. But since he's got his Impact music, that's what he comes out to now. So understandably.
But that's why, when I first met, so I met Congo Kong when he was still Osiris, the Juggernaut, back in the day. And he was one of the very first people back in the day in early. So I started wrestling in 2009. No, I started wrestling in 2000. I'm sorry. So it was 2005 or something like that. He was the first indie wrestler I heard with their own music.
Yeah, I remember Keith Lee had gotten his own music. A lot of wrestlers went no. So I can use this everywhere and
I can take it everywhere with no problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so I'd always wanted it because then after a while, because what happened was I was using whatever Willie the Bomb Richardson was using. And then I remember for Team Damn It, we started using the Whoop That Trick instrumental from Hustle and Flow. And I was like, this works. It sets the theme up. It is perfect, except we cannot use it anywhere else that streams it.
Look, that's the beauty of stream. A lot of streaming places, or at least currently, don't care. Apparently, they just don't care.
Well, so I did a show when I did the show on Juneteenth in Vegas. They were asking the guys about music, and so because they had generic music already set, because they clearly were getting pulled.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Yo, do you have music?" I was like, "Yeah, I can send a file over."
Yeah, that's the thing. YouTube, a lot of these matches that Beyond would upload, you don't see the entrances.
Nope.
Yeah, because the music.
Because the music, you don't see the entrances at all. And so I was just like, yo, so that's why I'm always grateful for the guys who did mine out of nowhere. I remember, if you ever watch on Blurs, Tommy Tucker, him and another buddy of his out in Memphis made my beat. And I was like, I love this so much. I was like, I curled up and everything. I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those moments. But back to Punk, I was glad they did the smartest thing they could have done. Not just the fact
of the start of the show.
was the start of the show.
Yeah, because otherwise the chants would just like ruin all the matches.
They would ruin every single match.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure somebody was like, "No, we should hold it to the end," and somebody was like, "Hey, I want to play you a tape of a CM Punk chant through every single match."
Be the worst. Like, get it over the way, let everyone cheer. Like when he dove into the crowd, I'm like, all right, he got me over. Like, I'm happy for him.
I didn't want to admit it. I'm probably first admitting it on this right now because I haven't even done blurs. I did. It got me. That it was an emotional moment.
Mm-hmm.
I felt, because you feel that energy. There's certain times Edge's return at the Royal Rumble that nobody knew was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that pop. I remember watching. I remember doing a live stream, and I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Punk coming out and just watching him genuinely take in this love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not a work. You can look at it like,
yeah, like that's
you watch enough wrestling, you can see it in the person's face. Like, this is real. They're taking this in.
Yeah, like him being happy and excited made everyone else excited,
and that's, you saw happiness on his face.
Yeah,
you saw legit for him to sit there and just say, "I'm you got me," and just dive. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Then the rest of Rampage happened, and it was like the tag match was fine.
Then it became a regular AEW show.
Yeah, then the Jade match just killed my love and I was so excited for Dan Garcia and John Moxley, especially when John Moxley said, "You have a better chance of impregnating me than beating me," which is just the funniest thing. But like, I understand Jade squashing people, but the Kiera Hogan of it is why I'm upset, because I'm like, she's already a name that has established television work on 2 different wrestling promotions, multi-time champion, but it's just like, she's a newbie.
Excuse me, ma'am. I must raise my hand here for a second. Ma'am, did you not see what happened the next fucking night? Like, it was like,
yeah,
it was like the same. Somebody had the same conversation.
Like I said, Rampage was the start of a depressing weekend of wrestling for me. Like, it started off hot and then went, woo, because Becky Lynch, all right, yes. Oh, what? Okay. And like, I love you, Charlotte. I don't need to see you be champion again. I would have liked to see Nikki run with it a bit longer.
I would rather see, because it would have made sense. Like, also, it did make sense to have Charlotte pin Nikki, have Charlotte pin Rhea.
Yeah, it was like. And it was the tap out, right? It wasn't the figure 8 too.
It was the tap out.
Like, oh great, the superhero just gave up. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. Not even the pin. Yeah, have Rhea tap out, because now you've killed the almost a superhero.
Yeah.
You've literally just killed the gimmick.
Yeah, it was. Look, the Seth Rollins match was great.
Hey, after the Becky Lynch shit,
yeah.
First of all, being Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal had to be the worst thing.
What? And then there was like a Shinsuke intermission that I remember.
Yeah, they made me wonder. They brought Shinsuke out and Rick Boogs for no reason.
Yeah, like the only part of that, like I remember, like Rick. Oh, he plays the guitar. I don't know if he's actually playing it, but I'm like,
he plays it. That's the thing. He plays.
So like, what? Like, and Elias doesn't play guitar anymore, I think. But they could have had like a guitar versus guitar feud. I don't know who's thinking what.
Then there was the Morrison, Miz, and Xavier Woods thing. I was like, yo,
the Drip 2000. Why are things?
I was like, I get what you're doing, because I get when they decide. I kind of knew this was going to happen off jump when they announced that SummerSlam was in a football stadium. I was like, he's about to try to WrestleMania this. He's going to give you a summer WrestleMania without the full time WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it feels like for a while before the pandemic, like the 4 years they had in New York, they had sort of built SummerSlam into its own little mini WrestleMania. And it, like, pandemic changes things. But like, I get them trying, but like, with the Drip 2000 segment, like, you also, like, the crowd was killed with the Becky Lynch win.
And that's what they were trying their hardest to do whatever they were, because they were like Drew and Jinder, you guys are up, okay. And then if you're Drew, the only pop Drew McIntyre got was doing the Claymore countdown, and that was minuscule.
Yeah, it was. And then so another, I didn't watch NXT. But my friend and I did watch Mission Pro, which had like a show Friday night, but we watched it later. But like Mission Pro, I had loved. It's
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa's
It's a
promotion.
promotion,
It's
yeah.
a women's promotion. I didn't know that this was going to be an intergender show. Also maybe sponsored by Salvation Army, and I have problems with them already.
Right.
Yeah, but then there were 3 women's matches in a 2.5-hour show, and I was like, "What happened?" Like I was like, that was the end of my wrestling week. So I was just like, "All right, Friday night was mostly great because Limitless and the CM Punk of it, but then like it was depressing."
Wait. First off, I didn't know Mission Pro was an all women's organization.
I mean, that's what it used to like. That was for when they started like advertising heavily. Like, hey, it's all run by women. It's all women. The refs are all women. Like everyone.
I was thinking like the shows consistently was like another Shimmer. That's what I'm.
I
thinking.
mean, that's what it used to be. Like this was their first like the last show they had like the one token boys match because they're trainees of Roddy Mac, Jazz, and presumably Thunder Rosa because they all run a school together, I think.
Yeah.
But then like this show, there was 3 women's matches and an intergender tag match, and there were like 9 matches total. Yeah. Yeah. So it was like what? Okay, why? All right. Like, because I thought it was just getting another Mission Pro show, like following up the stories of the last one, and I don't know. I missed the advertising, I guess.
You know what? I honestly think this weekend was now. SummerSlam was planned no matter what, right?
Why?
SummerSlam was planned to do what it was going to do. I think every other promotion started trying to figure out how do we ride the CM Punk arrival wave. You know what I'm saying? Because again, everybody's like, oh, Vince all of a sudden called Becky and Brock. I was like, do y'all really think that he waited till the last minute to call Brock? Brock knows how to tell everybody, I'm not doing this shit no more. He tells Brock, live your life, do what you do, live how you want to live, look how you want to look. Then all of a sudden Brock shows up, everybody's like, what the fuck?
It looked very funny. It looked very funny. I'm like, oh, I was not prepared for this.
But that's the thing. Like he said it was the best for last. And so the only thing they fucked up, the only way they fucked up was the Bianca Belair.
Look,
because they had a solid. The show was going so well.
Yeah. And oh my god, it's insane because you have the easy out. Carmella's already out there. Have the triple threat. Have Becky pin or submit Carmella. Then Bianca loses the title but doesn't lose. But like less than half a minute, a clothesline and the Uranagi, and that's it. You spent a year building her up,
and you can look at Bianca, and she went to cry.
Yeah, understandably,
because
I remember Nikki Bella's comments afterward. I was like, yeah, no, tell him say that. Now here she's also an anti-vaxxer, so I'm like, Nikki, stop that. But
Nikki's
I agree with this comment.
Nikki's from Arizona. It kind of checks out.
Okay.
They're from Scottsdale, Arizona. That checks out completely. But let's talk about the other elephant in the room with it. With Sasha Banks no showing. Well, not no showing.
I know she's also an anti-vaxxer, right?
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, she likes all the anti-vax posts on her Instagram. I know that much. That's what I heard. Like, it's been a while. And like that was like a lot of friends were conjecturing. I'm like, the reason she's not going to be on this because they're requiring everyone to be vaccinated. And she's liking all those anti-vax posts.
Oh, I thought because she missed a couple of house shows.
Yeah, like it's just a theory, which I could believe, but I don't know. So.
I think the other theory is she might be pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, if so, congratulations. We don't know, but
yeah, but I don't get like. And everybody was like, I saw some people on Twitter consistently being mad, like, oh, they know Sasha isn't here. That's false advertising. No, it's called card subject to change.
Yeah, like WWE. Look, no wrestling show will ever be like, sorry, look, this happens. I mean, when I went to Limitless, there were some wrestlers that were unable to make it because they worked another show that I originally had tickets to, or I could have went to, but that was during the whole July dealing with stuff. And apparently, like, I was in the Twitter DMs of that show because, like, I had a free pass to go, and they say, hey, if you came, go get tested for COVID. So I was like, oh, okay, that's probably why they were not on this Limitless show. So
because it's like people like she hasn't done a couple of house shows, and because she was there.
Yeah, I mean, she came back for they built it up consistently.
So which means she had to be vaxxed or something to do those shows. Because
fingers crossed.
The States are one thing, but the WWE, they not playing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw, there was a thing that said Laurinaitis sent out a mass message to everybody. You either got to be vaccinated or get tested every single show. Now, some people are like, I don't want to have to constantly get tested. Well, you either better just get vaccinated, because if we can have the whole company vaccinated, we can pretty much, if we can have everybody in our crew vaccinated, we can limit any transmissions. Now, yes, we're in an arena, but that's why they kind of try to tell people, can you stay the fuck away from the crowd if you got to?
Yeah,
like give a dap, a fist going down the aisle, whatever. Cool. But Matt Riddle, bro, I'm gonna need you to
not be employed. That's what I would like him to not be. Yeah.
But so, like I said, you get Jinder Mahal all in and all this. Then you have Edge say, "Don't worry, I got this."
Yeah, great match, Edge and Seth.
He said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna pop him." And then all of a sudden you hear, "Oh, Garrett." I was like, God. Oh my God. I said, the only thing that would have made this better is if they brought Gangrel.
Oh my God, yes. That's what I wanted. But, I
was like, I know you can't get Christian because it's kind of hard to get the Impact Champion. I mean, look.
The AEW employed Impact Champion.
Could you imagine? Imagine who does that look good best on, though? Actually, it looks best on Vince for once in your life to say,
working with others. Yeah,
you work with others. Now I get what you like. I get the feeling like, yo, fuck everybody else. But if you'd have just brought the Brood to come to the ring, they wouldn't have had to do nothing else in the match.
Yeah, there's like the complaints, which I understand, the complaints of AEW with like all these belts from different promotions. And I'm like, all right, it's like comic books. This is the interconnectivity of comic books and wrestling form. And I get it. I don't have enough time to watch all those other shows.
Yeah.
Like, because wrestling shows are very long. But I understand why others might not get it or like it. So that's fine.
I was talking with somebody on Twitter, and they were talking about how everybody goes to AEW that gets released by WWE and gets treated better, right? And I had to say, yo, you do realize there's about to come a point where they are going to have to release people.
Yeah.
Like it's like people are like, oh, the WWE always releasing talent. It's the business, unfortunately.
Yeah. So like, I mean, that's also a topic of discussion in some groups. A lot of us think they might not release them like WWE does, but they just might not renew their contracts. Like, it just be like a thing where like, let it play out. We're not going to resign
Adam Cole is like that. That's how come Adam Cole doesn't have a third. Adam Cole can show up on fucking Dynamite Wednesday.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I mean, yesterday we saw a lot of. Are you familiar with Gabe? Evolve Gabe Sapowski or whatever.
Yeah.
On one of his burner accounts, he was just doing an anti-Adam Cole rant, anti-AEW rant. I'm like, everyone clearly figured out, oh, this is Gabe Sapowski, because this man has no chill whatsoever. And it's like all this evolves, like similar stuff. So, but it was just like, all right, well, I guess Adam Cole didn't resign.
Look, when I saw TakeOver, and I was like, I kind of figured, I was like, Adam Cole either didn't resign, they didn't make it public, because I think two things happened last night. Of course, either he resigned, but these were farewell matches. These were NXT farewell matches for him and Karrion Kross. Those were NXT farewell. Everybody kind of happy. It's like, whoo, thank God that's over.
I haven't watched NXT I watch AEW regularly just because a friend group to talk about it with. So
no, that makes sense. Yeah, NXT. Everybody was like, Karrion Kross is by far the worst NXT champion ever, and everybody was like, whoo, thank God this is over with finally.
Yeah. Suicide Squad, though, what a fun movie. Love
Oh my!
that.
How many times have you watched it?
Once in theaters, twice at home.
I think I've watched it about 3-4 times.
Yeah,
Because you
and
just
then
can't help but keep laughing.
and then like the same week, I was like, I'm gonna rewatch Birds of Prey, and then rewatch that twice because I'm like,
So
these movies rule. I love like I'm not. I understand what R ratings can do for you, and obviously well ones can be made. The Birds of Prey will always be iffy to me because I'm like Huntress and Black Canary should be like PG-13 at max. I want little kids to see these characters, but this movie's great, so I can't like totally be mad.
I mean, I feel like get a rated R. You get like you and McGregor have a lot of fun now. You like
you really did.
You like just
Now,
you know what?
in my house, ew.
Just go. Just do. She's like, oh, is that snot? Is it? Oh no, never mind. Kill it too. What?
This is a very fun movie.
I
like
me,
Harley Psycho.
Whole...
Huntress. Oh my god, I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead in that movie. So I mean, the cast is great. Like it's just a lot of fun. But
it's the way they play the characters. I think, and that's what a lot of people kind of don't understand. They're like, wait, this isn't what I know the character to be. Like we all know the Helena Bertinelli we've seen on Arrow, how she's played. And Mary, don't you know who I am? Everyone's like, no.
It's so great. I'm not the crossbow killer. Like, oh, this chick has rage issues. I love her. I don't have rage issues. It's just so great. Like, I really like how you kick real high in tight pants. Like, because she had no social life growing up. Like,
none.
Totally understandable. She didn't know how to deal with people.
She just learned to kill people, and that was. But again, I was just saying, I need a whole King Shark series of him just going and
like, oh, you know, because everybody, I remember like when they announced the Peacemaker series, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a prequel. He's just gonna die in the movie.
Same it. I was like, wait a
minute. They really played it. James Gunn played us like a fiddle. So thank you, Mr. Gunn.
He was like, yeah, this is gonna be how he became Peacemaker. So everybody was like, all right, so at some point in this movie, Cena dies, right?
Movie made me feel bad for Rick Flag after the first one, and like Captain Boomerang, sort of. I was hoping for like a movie redemption arc for him just to make up for the last one, but you know, whatever. Like
I was totally fine with that Boomerang death because I literally kept saying to everybody, I need Captain Boomerang's Jai Courtney to die early in this movie. And when he did, I was first of all, I was like, yes, but I was like, God damn.
Yeah, like I was torn. Like the three deaths. I mean, the Rick Flag obviously was the emotionally upsetting one because like they made you care and he was likable and fun in this one. Savan, I was upset only because I was a big fan of his character in the comics. Like, and Captain Boomerang because I love him from the comics and the TV series and cartoons, but like just visually he is unappealing in these movies. He's just so unappealing visually.
Yeah, the polka dot when James Gunn told people, look, nobody is safe.
Yeah,
so you were like,
oh yeah, Polka Dot Man. That was the other upsetting one. Like,
that's the thing where he's like, I'm a motherfucking super. Oh,
it's so like, and it's such a fun thing because like, when you're watching, you don't think about it. Think about it after. I'm like, so what is like the mission objective of the first team that all dies? Like, who picks Weasel and think like, yeah, we need him on your team for what?
But that was the thing. What were they? Right? Because I want to know what they were told. Because clearly, Amanda Waller was like, "No, they're gonna die." So
and like Blackguard, what was your plan, Blackguard? You know you got a bomb in the back of your neck, right? So say you turn on everyone.
There's an article. I think there's a Screen Rant article. Somebody was like, Waller knew what he was doing from jump.
Oh, of course. Like that's the thing. Like Waller's like, no, we would need them to distract everyone. But like, it's like, what are they told that they need? Javelin, TDK, the Weasel. The Weasel is the most confusing. What is he gonna do? He's not King Shark. He just eats children.
To watch Nathan Fillion as the detachable kid just.
And it's just so funny. I'm like, all right, this could be cool. That it's just weakly slapping the guns in their helmets. It's so great.
It's one of those movies. It works so well because when you think about Idris Elba, you're like, oh yeah, that was Deadshot. We get it. And they were like, no, he's Bloodsport. No, that's Deadshot.
It's so great. It's very fun, straight up action. Here's some good emotional beats with characters, and they did the Squirrel Girl before Marvel did. The Ratcatcher 2 is basically Squirrel Girl.
Yes, she is. Oh,
Like,
that shit at the end when
yeah.
she was like, "This island is theirs," and I was with Idris Elba, and I wasn't even there. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I think it finally on the third watching that I realized when Harley said, "I know what to do with this javelin." I'm like, "But what do you do with it?" They're like, "Oh, she pierces the eye." Like I didn't realize that she needed that to pierce the eye, but that's how the rats got in. So
Yeah,
like,
when you see in the trailer now, with all the rats in the. But also, can we talk about the fact that Starro it was wronged?
poor fucking Starro, right? Like this
yo,
final
Starro
line.
was like, I was minding my goddamn business.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're gonna make us feel bad for this conqueror that, like, it's like I was happy up in space.
Like, yo, I was chilling. Y'all took me. I didn't come to y'all. I was chilling. So if I try to kill y'all, I don't want to be here.
Yep.
Like,
It's like you did this, so now I'm doing this. This is all your fault. Like maybe not your fault, but Thinker's fault. Thinker who doesn't think at all in the movie, but it's still fun because he's
like gerbils and shit in his ass.
yeah, yeah. Like it's like you'd be surprised by the answer to that. Like
I was like, wait a minute, where did it? It was, but it's little things like that
Milton,
work.
the Milton bit, like because I remember watching him, like, why is that guy still with him? All right,
It killed Milton. Who the hell is Milton?
like he's like he was still with us. Like, what did you think he did? Wait in the car? He'd be dead by the military.
That and then the fact you had Harley call Bloodsport Milton.
Milton at the end.
That's not my name.
I like
that whole thing. That's not.
I'm very excited for the Peacekeeper series. One, John Cena, Peacemaker, right. Series one, John Cena did a great job in this role. But if we're getting more of like the operations unit in that, like, because I like they didn't do much, but I love them. Like I love rewatching the scene where they're just like collecting the money, and the lady's like, yeah.
No, the one-upsmanship game with him and Bloodsport, when he just walks to dude laying down with the hatchet and just go, I'm like, God!
The woman doing laundry every time. I'm like, she is not a threat. Come on. And like the beauty is like Amanda Waller would not give a fuck even if she knew beforehand. Oh no, they're fine. They're on our side. Just kill them anyway.
But when you had Elise Braga, she was like, yeah, all my people outside. They were like, we ain't seen nobody.
I turned them into my mother in my head and I killed them all.
I killed like that was another thing again that made that movie so when he just everybody he sees is his mother.
The dancing scene, like when they're in the club in the bar, the giant Starro mom.
But this works so well. But
yeah, it was like the chemistry is so good that like I'm like I need more good team movies like this.
Somebody
like,
tried to tell me somebody was like, this ain't a good movie. I was like, what are you talking about? It was like, there's so many plot holes. What plot holes?
Yeah, even if there was, I don't care. Like Cleo, she's like, I don't believe you. He's got kind eyes. And the rat's like, no, he was going to eat you. You son of a...
The rat was like, bitch, you almost his throat. And John Cena in his tidy whitey's just there.
It was so good. Like, what the fuck?
Did you see my tweet that I put up right before his match? I said, as God is my witness, if John Cena wants to win this match, he comes to the ring in his Peacemaker outfit.
That would have been the best.
Because he keeps it.
I know, yeah. He wears it like so many places. It's the best.
He wants y'all to know, no. This is me.
It's like the toilet seat hat. It's so dumb. I love it.
It's just a toilet seat. It's a beacon of freedom.
It's so like the comic accurate costumes. This is everything I want from comic book movies.
Never thought I would have saw a javelin costume for real.
Like Polka Dot Man, Peacemaker, Javelin.
Again, that means you already know who's coming up soon. We got him in the Harley Quinn cartoon. We are going to get a Condiment King somehow live action. I'm pretty fucking. If we got Polka Dot Man, granted the story was dope. With you know what I'm saying, there's a Condiment King coming around.
Oh God, I hope. I cannot wait. It was a delight. Like yeah, that's like. There's always the talk because based off Birds of Prey and this and like that they might do like eventually a Gotham City Sirens with Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman. Which look, I'm here for. Depending upon people involved. I will watch it. I love comic book movies. Of course, I'll watch it.
But that's been because. So the thing was, Gotham City Sirens was what Birds of Prey originally was.
Yeah, like my biggest fear is it would be R-rated because all of Harley's good movies are R-rated. I mean, she's only in 3 of them, and 2 of them are good. So,
Yeah.
But like seeing Black Canary murder people a lot, I'm like, all right, this wasn't great, but I'd never want to see Catwoman murder people. Like that's her thing. She doesn't kill. Like,
yeah, what she's just like, I don't.
But
kill.
like, I have to. It's a thing that I'm like, all right, Elseworld stuff. You know, if the movie is good, I'll just be slightly annoyed, but like I'll still probably hopefully overall enjoy it, which is the best we can hope for. You know.
Yeah, that's why like I was so happy when the whole thing with the Journey Smollett Black Canary thing.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I mean, I listened to the episode this morning, so I was like, oh, like that was the only thing I was thinking. I'm like, I really want Huntress to be in that too, because just them, their chemistry was great.
So it's funny. I recorded the episode. I dropped the episode. I tweeted out the next day. I say, y'all might want to listen because there's something that's gonna drop. The same day I put that out, the next day, all of a sudden, the Birds of Prey. I was like, somebody kind of knew it beforehand and didn't. You bitches don't want to give him his credit, but that's fine. That's fine. Cause like nobody, like, yeah, Cinelinx put it out because I know the guy around Cinelinx and he has, sources and whatever. I was like, yeah. I said, but I've had him up. I was like, hey man, I'm let you in on a secret. Listen to this clip. I was like, this is from when I released the episode yesterday. He was like, holy shit, I said.
It was funny at first when you first said it. Like, I understood what you said in the second time when you repeated it. I'm like, wait, is a Lovecraft Country spinoff? That doesn't make sense. Oh, no, creative team. Okay. All right, that makes sense. I'm like,
without directly saying it was Misha Green, it's like, it's a reteaming.
I mean, look, I love her as Black Canary. I enjoyed Lovecraft Country. I guess I understand why HBO didn't renew it, but like I don't know.
No, well, I know why. I'll tell you when we're done recording.
No problem.
I'll tell you when we're done recording. I know exactly why they did renew it, but it's interesting. Again, they work well together. Misha Green and Journey Smollett work well together. You're gonna have this major budget now. You get to expand on the character, and.
A funny thing, because I did not know his name, when like I finally saw the Loki finale, I'm like, oh, that's Jonathan Banks.
Jonathan Majors.
Sorry. I'm like, everybody's talking about Jonathan Majors as Kang. I'm like, okay. And then I see this guy. Oh, that's his name. All right. I recognize him.
You know what? I can't even front because I'm like that with certain actors. Like they're super. I'm like, yeah, I know who that is. I just can't remember the goddamn name right now.
Yeah, like I mean, I watched all of Lovecraft. I never like paid attention. I mean, multiple times while watching it, I thought JoLene, Smith. I can't remember her full name.
Who? Journey Smollett?
Yes, Journey Smollett. I kept getting her confused with the actor that plays XS on The Flash. That was also in Black
Parker Kennedy.
Yeah, because I'm like, they have a similar face. In a certain light, they've got like similar eyes, it feels like, but like one is way shorter than the other, I think.
Yeah. Jessica's way, because I interviewed Jessica.
Yeah, she's tiny. On the Flash, at least she's tiny. So.
Oh, she's tiny in real life.
Yeah. And then I remember like I saw you in Black Sails first. So this is like wildly going from the R-rated sex pirate show to kid-friendly superhero show.
It's always funny when you see people go from these shows like that or P-Valley or other shows that are heavily sex featured, and you're like, you about to do?
Yeah,
these kids gonna try to look up your IMDb and see your credits and your resume. They're gonna see your nipples, and like,
yeah, but like, whatever. I mean, good work is good work. So right,
you can't complain. So what else you got?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I know you'll always have something you like before. I want to make sure I get this.
I wanted to make sure we talked about the recent.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
I don't know if you saw the latest episode of Legends, but I still love Legends.
I have. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I fell off this season.
No, that's fine. I mean, that just means you can binge it eventually.
Superman
and Lois, like you talked about, it's great. I mean, it is great. I know.
I gotta revenge that. You know, I'm now, I get it now why people do these. Sometimes, like, I understand when your schedule, like if your schedule doesn't allow you to watch it when it comes on, I get that.
Totally.
For certain, like I'm watching Breaking Bad now. I didn't watch Breaking Bad when it happened because the Breaking Bad fans made me not want to watch Breaking Bad.
Like I don't think I ever want to watch it because like I just hear, I'm like, no, like look, when it was airing, I'm like, this doesn't look like there's any happy ending or any joy.
Man,
and people are like, nope, there is no joy.
There's literally no, like, there's like anytime there's a glimpse of hope, a glimmer, it's that's gone.
Yeah, like the only thing, like recently my dad restarted watching Downton Abbey, and so then I restarted last night. I'm like, this is so, because I remember loving this show. Like I get so hooked in like the soap opera nature of it. But like think of it now, I'm like, you know, like it's weird being a fan of this show, but also being like, no, I kind of want all the servants to kill the rich aristocrats and just take all their money. But like also like I'm hooked on these damn storylines. Because like, you know, Tom Branson, who was introduced as the socialist chauffeur that eventually marries into the aristocracy. I'm like, that's a weird journey, buddy. Like you don't like agree with most of their beliefs, but like their youngest daughter is like you. So. Yeah, so like that's the weird thing going on. But
like I said, I'll catch up on Legends and
and Superman Lois finished. And look, like you said, like you've heard, it's a very well made show. And the only thing that's always confused me is like how it's like nebulously a part of the Arrowverse, even though Diggle appears and Lila is mentioned.
Yeah, you're like,
but like they act
here,
like,
but it's like they don't act like crisis happened.
Yeah, and it's well, like there's a plot line where it acts like you're alone here. I'm like, no, he's got a cousin. He's got a Martian friend. He's got a super speedster friend, and like Diggle shows up, so we know they all exist.
All right, well, look.
And they even say, "Oh, you're from another universe." Okay.
Tell the people how they can get in touch with you. The people here in the squad.
You can follow me on Twitter at JoLene _. I'm also on Twitch at JoLene _. I haven't twitched in a while, ever since, you know. But like eventually I'll get back to it. So.
Makes sense. You already know where I'm at, everything, and all, you know, all the places to find me, because that's why you're here. Stay tuned for the next one, y'all. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna tell you some things. All right, we're out here. Bye, y'all.